Tonight on RBT.
I reckon he's worth a breath test. What do you reckon?
How come you're on the wrong side of the road?
If you're disqualified in Victoria, you're disqualified in New South Wales.
If you get in your car and drive, I'll guarantee you, you'll go straight to jail.
Pop your hands in front of you, it's going to handcuff you.
One big breath and blow through. Why didn't you swap drivers? Stay there, don't move. Stop. This time I'm going to place you under arrest.
After the pubs and bars close in Newcastle, the streets are soon empty. On mobile RBT patrol, officers Collier and Dunn turn off the main street. They spot a lone P-plater travelling in the opposite direction, who appears to be taking the scenic route home.
Where's he going?
A long way around.
Any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple of beers really this afternoon.
You're on your P's?
Yeah.
Yeah. When was your last drink?
4 o'clock.
If James's last drink was 10 hours ago, he'd better hope he registers a 0 reading.
Just take one deep breath for me and blow continuously till I say stop. Keep going. Okay, at this point in time, you're under arrest for the purpose of a breath analysis. Okay, you've gone over the limit.
James can't believe he's landed himself in this situation.
I had no intention of driving. We just had a pitta, you know, the kebab shop. And then some altercation with one of my friends, and I'm not the kind of bloke to get into a fight. I just kind of wanted to get out of there, and we were walking. A group of his mates came up the street behind us and had a go at all of us, and then and that's when I made the dumb decision to just get in the car and take him home, and just probably shouldn't have done it.
In his bid to rescue his mates, James has only landed himself in trouble.
I've never done this before. This is just a little bit rattled at the moment.
In Delahaye, in Melbourne's west, a large-scale RBT unit is targeting late-night drivers.
That's fine, you're right to go, thank you.
59-year-old Radavoye is driving his mum home after dinner.
In my opinion, the result of the preliminary breath test indicates that your breath contains alcohol. Okay, so I need you to turn the car off for us and step out of the vehicle, thanks, sir.
Radavoye spent the day with his mother, celebrating his late father's life.
My father died.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And I'm with my mother, have a special today lunch and dinner.
All right, yes.
And memories. Yeah. and okay.
It's been an emotional evening for Radavoye, who's raised a glass or two in his father's memory.
I have half of bottle of wine and 2 whiskey before that, and that's all. I know. That's not good.
Despite his drinking, Radavoye thought he was okay to make the short drive to his mother's home.
I don't know how much is the illegal, but I know if I going now in the car and I bring my mother, for sure, absolutely, I can go, no problem. Every mother worried about son, and she tell me, please be careful, and I say, no, mother, no, don't worry about that.
Right? Okay, take a deep breath, blow one long continuous breath until I tell you to stop.
Unfortunately for Radavoye, he didn't listen to his mother's advice.
Stop, that'll do.
And a positive reading may prove his mother is always right. Friday night, just over the Victorian border in Albury. There's a large volume of interstate traffic through this town, so officers are always on the alert. It's not long before a red Commodore driving out of a bottle shop catches their attention. The driver, Daniel, presents some identification, but it's not the right kind.
No, need your driver's licence, Daniel. Is the vehicle yours?
It's my brother's.
Your brother's? Where are you residing at the moment?
Hey, what's that, sir?
Whereabouts are you living at the moment?
Oh, I'm just staying at a mate's joint.
Yeah?
Just up the road here.
Just on holidays or something, are you?
Yeah, just come down to my brother's joint, bro. Just going,
Yeah. Consumed any alcohol this evening?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. How long ago was your last drink?
An hour ago.
About an hour ago. How much have you had tonight?
3 cans.
3 cans? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to subject you to a roadside breath test. It's a nice, simple test. All I want you to do is blow into the tube until I tell you to stop, OK? Just a nice deep breath. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going. That's the way. So just a couple of cans of beer or...
Just Jimmy's.
Yeah, Jim Beam Cola?
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, the device indicates that you're in excess of the legal limit. All right, at this point in time, you're under arrest for the purpose of a breath analysis. What's going to happen is we're going to convey you back to Albury Police Station where we conduct a further test, OK? Do you understand that?
Yep.
All right, mate, what I'll get you to do is just hop out of the vehicle and secure it for me.
But a second breath test isn't Daniel's only worry. There may be a reason he's reluctant to hand over his driver's licence.
He's a Queensland licence holder driving a Victorian vehicle in New South Wales. I mean, we'll canvass that with him to see if there's any other offences that have been committed. What I'll get you to do is just pop your hands in front of you. I'm just going to handcuff you.
RBT patrols are always on the road, and on this weekday evening, officers Gretchen and Fall are patrolling the southwestern suburbs of Sydney. Shortly before 7, they spot a van pulled up on the wrong side of the road.
Is this bloke in a van or...?
Is he going the wrong way? He's reversed.
He is. What's he doing?
He's on the wrong side.
I
of the
reckon
road.
he's worth a breath test. What do you reckon?
Phil ducked out to the local shops to pick up some pizzas for his dinner.
How you going? How come you're on the wrong side of the road?
I just reversed out of the driveway here.
Yep.
Behind this vehicle.
Yep.
And I reversed out, and because there was something coming this way,
Yep.
I pulled to this side.
You haven't had any alcohol to drink, have you?
I had a beer tonight, well, about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. How many beers have you had? Just one?
Just one large bottle of beer.
750 ml?
750 ml.
Okay.
And I've been up to the vet prior to that.
All right.
So I'd take me goat to the vet because she had a little baby.
Yeah.
If I hadn't have done that, it wasn't going to be alive.
Yeah, no worries.
So that's all I've been worried about. Didn't even go to work today and lost my job, so...
It hasn't been a good day for Phil, and if he's had more to drink than he's saying, his day won't get any better.
Blown out. Keep going. Bit harder. Bit harder. Keep going. Keep going. Stop.
After having a few beers, James and his mates went out for a kebab. But when a fellow diner started heckling them, James claims the only way out was to drive his mates home. The last thing on his mind was his 0 alcohol limit.
I was just looking after my friends, because there was an altercation before I got in the car, and I just wanted to get out of there and take them with me, and I got them home, and then this happened, and just didn't expect it.
Just before the kebab shop showdown, James now admits he and his mates were drinking at the pub.
Just beer. I'm a student, so I want a budget.
And do you know how many drinks you had?
Would be 4 or 5. I'm doing communication courses, so I'm very keen. I'm doing a lot of film courses this semester, so I had a friend who did communications, got an internship at Fox Sports at the moment, and that's pretty cool. I'd like to take that and just go with it. I just like media. I like all that, and sports is just a cherry on the cake, I guess, if I got in there, so it'd be cool.
But achieving his dream internship will be a little tougher if anything happens to his licence.
Depending on the outcome, I do drive to uni all the time. I rely on my car a lot to get to uni. I'm not really a bus or train person, so...
Okay, you just take a deep breath and you blow as hard as you want in this one. No worries. Way you go, and I'll tell you this one.
Given he's not a fan of buses and trains, if James blows over this time, he might just have to get used to public transport.
Just a nice deep breath, I'll tell you when to stop.
In the border town of Albury, a routine RBT may be turning into something more serious. Daniel blew over roadside, but when he seemed reluctant to hand over his driver's licence, police suspicions were aroused.
He's a Queensland licence holder driving a Victorian vehicle in New South Wales. What I'll get you to do is just pop your hands in front of you. I'm just going to handcuff you.
On his way to the station, Daniel tells officers he's come from interstate to try and pick up some work.
Is your licence essential for your work as a brickie? Or? Probably not.
Yeah, pretty much.
I thought there would have been a heap of building work up in Queensland after the floods and stuff.
That's what everyone reckons, but it just doesn't happen straight away, mate. Oh.
You ever been in trouble with police in New South Wales?
No. I've got a fine from New South Wales.
Yep. What was that for?
Just speeding.
Is that on this trip or previously?
That was on this trip.
Daniel's staying pretty quiet, but his behaviour might be telling officers more than he's saying.
When we're dealing with people that we arrest, I mean, we're looking, you know, for body language and things like that, and he was quiet and appeared a bit nervous, and generally that'll indicate that maybe there's a reason why. So is it further offences or things like that?
While Daniel is taken for his second test, Senior Constable Zagayev tries to get to the bottom of this interstate licence puzzle.
Yeah, because he's produced a current Queensland licence. So that makes it interesting as to how he's obtained a Queensland licence when he's disqualified in Victoria.
At an RBT site in West Melbourne, 59-year-old Radavoye returned a positive alcohol reading roadside.
Okay, so I need you to turn the car off for us and step out of the vehicle, thanks, sir.
He was driving his recently widowed mother home after an emotional dinner.
My father died.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes, and I have half of bottle of wine and 2 whisky before that, and that's all.
Okay, take a deep breath. Like one long continuous breath until I tell you to stop.
Radavoye's mother warned him about driving, and now he's facing the consequences.
Stop, that'll do. Now, I'd like to have a seat back on the bench there. This takes a couple of minutes to complete the analysis. The analysis shows you have a breath alcohol concentration of 0.090. Do you have any comment to make, sir?
Absolutely, I haven't. What do you think is too much? That? Sorry, I don't know. I don't know proposition. Is not too much. Yeah, okay. Normal.
0.05. That's the limit, right?
Yep, okay.
So that's the limit.
Okay.
You got 06, 07,
I am
09. This is you, that's you. You're
oh my God.
Yeah, nearly
twice.
God. Nearly twice.
Never
Okay.
believe me in my life. Never.
Obviously, we can't let you drive any further tonight because you're nearly double the limit and will be for some time. Your licence is cancelled.
Really?
And you are disqualified from driving for a period of 6 months.
He seems to have understood that Radavoye is still intent on driving his mother home.
How are we going to get you and your mother to where you need to go? Because you can't drive. Can she drive?
I can drive now.
No.
No, you can't drive now, no.
If you get in your car and drive, I'll guarantee you you'll go straight to jail. Not kidding. We had a great deal of trouble getting the idea across to him that he wasn't going to drive after we're finished. Now, he's not only recently lost his father, now he's lost his licence. It seems cruel to add another load on top of his what he's already bearing, but that's it. There's no give or take. If you're over, and get prosecuted exactly the same as everybody else.
After a late-night fight nearly broke out in a Newcastle kebab shop, James drove his friends home before it got out of hand. But now, it looks like he's saved everyone but himself.
stop the lid. James, you've returned a ready made of .065, which puts you in the low range.
Yep.
Okay.
James can only guess what his friends will say in the morning.
Gobsmacked, I guess. So they've had fines and speeding fines, but I think I'd be the first to have a RBT. And then the next thing is my parents are gonna want people I'm not too keen to tell, so yeah, it's not good.
So your licence is still right, you're good to drive, but I would obviously wait quite a few hours
Do I have to
before you get behind the wheel of the car.
get a taxi home or something like that?
Yep. Okay.
For someone doing pretty well in his media studies, James isn't feeling very smart about his decision to drive.
I'm very, very, very disappointed in myself. Very dumb, very dumb.
What's this bloke in the van or?
Yeah, I'm going the wrong way.
After picking up a couple of pizzas, 45-year-old Phil attracted police attention when he reversed out of a pizza shop driveway onto the wrong side of the road. For Phil, it's a bad end to a very bad day.
I've been at home, I've been worried about this little goat. I ended up taking it to the vet, I got an appointment for it this afternoon, I rushed it in. So that's all I've been worried about. Didn't even go to work today and lost my job, so...
Phil admitted to drinking a long neck earlier today, and that may have added to his worries.
Keep going, stop. All right, listen, Phillip, you've gone over your legal limit, okay?
No.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say you have if you haven't. You have. You've gone over your legal limit, right? So,
What's my legal limit? What's it blowing on then?
your legal limit is .050, right? Because you're not driving a truck at the moment, so it's 050, right? 50 cents. So you've gone over your legal limit.
So what is it?
These blokes obviously had a couple of drinks because, you know, your normal prudent person doesn't generally back out on the wrong side of the road, especially on an intersection like this.
Phil's roadside indicator is bordering on high range. Senior Constable Fall suspects his drinks tally may be a little light on.
What other alcohol have you drank during the day?
I drank that can of Jim Beam, and what was it, ginger beer? Yeah, ginger beer and bourbon.
Yep, what time was that?
Probably only about an hour before.
Okay. Any other alcohol?
It looks like Phil won't be tucking into his cooling pizzas for a little while yet.
What did you do with the pizzas? Are they going to keep them back in the
Nah,
ovens, or?
Phil, one of them left in the car, so we just left them there and...
On the way back to the station, the only thing on Phil's mind is the little baby goat whose life he saved.
Was it crook, was it? It didn't survive, or...?
No, it wasn't going to.
Oh, OK.
What was wrong with it?
The mother was neglected.
How old was it?
It was 9 days.
While police are sympathetic to Phil's plight, if he blows over back at the station, it'll be a bad end to a very sad day. At Albury Police Station, police have just discovered Daniel, who's blown over roadside, might be driving on a falsely obtained licence.
No worries. That makes it interesting as to how he's obtained a Queensland licence when he's disqualified in Victoria.
Big deep breath.
While Senior Constable Zagayev continues his inquiries, Daniel takes his second breath test.
That's it, it's fine. Unfortunately, you've just gone over. The reading's .054 in excess of the low range blood alcohol limit, okay?
Not very happy about it. Not seeing as it's that close.
But Daniel's not free to go yet. He's taken to the interview room to explain himself.
Mate, but the issue we have now is the fact that your period of disqualification is includes your arrest tonight. Okay, you're actually disqualified from driving. When you're disqualified in one state, that disqualification carries over to other states. So if you're disqualified in Victoria, you're disqualified in New South Wales. You shouldn't have been driving. Is that right?
man. No, I didn't know that, no.
For the moment, Daniel's staying tight-lipped, but he'll have some explaining to do when he fronts the magistrate. Phil's been brought to the Green Valley Police Station after blowing well over roadside. It's the end to a tough day for this truck driver who lost his job and almost lost his 9-day-old baby goat.
Just hasn't been feeding right and just had it down the vet and everything and got it all going again. Get some vitamins and everything into it. Now I just got it home inside, hand feed it, whatnot, hand rear it, put it in front of the fireplace and that.
Phil says while he nursed the goat, he had a long neck and a can of bourbon and Coke, and then he popped out to grab some takeaway pizzas.
My mate gets double meat lovers, I get a triple meat lovers. Triple the meat, triple the cheese, triple the mushrooms, and damn good feed. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah. Oh, you could get a Mexican with extra Mexicans on it.
Before rescuing his pizzas and getting home to the pet goat, there's one more thing Phil needs to do this evening, his secondary breath test.
Two, ready? Yep. Deep breath, blow us till I say stop.
If Phil goes higher than .08 again on this second test, he'll be handing over his licence immediately.
That's all right. There you go. The instrument has analysed a sample of your breath and returned a reading of 0.107 grams of alcohol in 210 litres of breath, okay?
The machine says it, the machine says it, you can't deny it. It's up to me to reevaluate next time before I put the keys in the car, isn't it? Lesson learned again. Hard way to do it, but that's the way it is. These guys are only doing their job.
He was only down one road, he lived on that road, and he only just drove down the road to get some pizzas and was driving back. Obviously didn't think he was over the legal limit.
I'd be willing to bet every time we pull someone over, they'll say, oh, I thought I was right. It's probably one of the most common responses we get.
I can't. I'm busted. That's it. So, yeah. Good night, Australia.
Phil was convicted of mid-range drink driving. He was fined $750 and lost his licence for 6 months. James was found guilty of low-range drink driving and received a Section 10 bond. Radaboye was fined $358. His licence was cancelled and he was disqualified from driving for 6 months. Daniel was convicted of driving whilst disqualified from holding a licence and low-range drink driving. He was fined $1,600 and lost his licence for 2.5 years.